All right, rolling.
Mr. President, we're ready.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Good morning to each and every one. Welcome to our City Council meeting. And at this time, we'll turn it over to our very capable City Clerk.
This is the regular meeting of the Mobile City Council, Tuesday, April the 6th. Please stand for our invocation led by Pastor Christopher Williams, Yorktown Baptist Church, and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Good morning. Let us pray. Gracious and all-wise God, we come asking your blessing today upon this meeting. We ask that you would bless each and every individual that's on the call and on Zoom. We ask, God, that you would bless this meeting and bless it for the upbuilding of your city. Ask that you govern and guide each and every one, govern our hearts, our mind, and our tongue. Forgive all of us of our sins and wrongdoings. We ask these things in your Son, Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the States of America, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, President Manzi.
Here.
Vice President Small.
Here.
Councilmember Richardson.
Here.
Councilmember Williams.
Here.
Councilmember Daves.
Here.
Councilmember Rich.
Here.
Councilmember Gregory.
Here.
Statement of rules.
Good morning. In
Good
response
morning.
to national, state, and local guidance due to the COVID-19 pandemic, and in accordance with the Alabama Open Meetings Act and the Governor's Supplemental Emergency Proclamation, we are meeting remotely. While we're all in different places, we're able to participate as if we were all in the council chambers at Government Plaza, and in keeping with the requirements of the Alabama Open Meetings Act, the public is still able to observe the meeting through our live stream. All items we will address in this particular meeting are either necessary to respond to COVID-19 or necessary to perform essential minimum functions of the city. The public is still able to present comments to the council by emailing them to cityclerk@citymobile.org up to 30 minutes prior to the meeting. Your comments will be acknowledged, received, distributed, and then presented to council members and included in the meeting minutes. These are the particular rules of the meeting. Each speaker will be granted 3 minutes uninterrupted. At the end of 2 minutes, a bell will sound indicating that you have 60 seconds to conclude. This is the rules for this particular meeting, and we appreciate your interest in our municipal government.
Approval of minutes of March 30th.
So move.
Second.
It's been properly moved in second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Meetings are approved.
Communications from the mayor.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good to see everybody this morning. Now, on your agenda today, we're asking the council to vote on the purchase of an additional 300 body cameras for our policemen. Now, currently, our police officers have more than 500 body cameras in use, really on all of our uniformed officers. But if approved, it would provide more cameras in order that every sworn officer will be outfitted with a camera. You know, what we have learned over the last several years, really since the end of 2015, when we bought our first body cameras, is that this works to protect good officers, but it also helps identify when mistakes are made so that we can correct them through disciplinary procedures if necessary. Ultimately, it's really about building trust between the MPD and the community through transparency. Also, doing some checking earlier this morning, we can find no other police department, certainly of a city of our size in the state of Alabama, or the largest cities, that is deploying body cameras to the extent that we are. I know that Director Barber and Chief Batiste have been very instrumental in making this happen, and we know that the City Council is extremely interested in this. And so I'm expecting an affirmative vote on that, and thank you for your participation in this conversation. Now, yesterday it was announced that Casey Calloway will be joining our team as a Chief Resilience Officer. What that means is that if you recall back during the BP oil spill, Governor Riley stood up a resiliency council to start identifying things that we needed to do as a community to make sure that we were doing things to address environmental changes and challenges, but also whether it was man-made, or natural disasters. So part of her responsibility will delve into stormwater management, litter control, energy usage, and waste reduction. Now, we all know Casey has been the creator and the driving force behind Baykeepers and done an incredible job. She has served in that role for a very long time. I think that she is looking for a new career. And we are convinced that she can channel those same energies into making the city of Mobile, inside city government, a stronger government, just as she's done making our community stronger from an environmental standpoint. So we're very excited that Casey will be joining us. I also have a resolution that I would like to read this morning, and it has to do with Embrace Alabama Kids. And so I'm going to read the resolution, then I'll make a couple of remarks about it. Whereas we're all charged with embracing and nurturing vulnerable children, youth at risk, families. And whereas Alabama's children experience hardships no child should have to face, including neglect, abuse, and abandonment. And whereas each year there are more than 28,000 incidents of child abuse and neglect reported to the Alabama Department of Human Resources. And whereas we should strive to be there for children in need of care when those closest to them are unable to adequately provide that care. And whereas we can't change the wrongs our children have experienced in the past, but we can do what is right in the hopes of changing the trajectory of their future. And whereas we believe the environment with a strong support system that helps them grow and thrive as they prepare for adulthood. And whereas together our communities can help break this cycle of neglect, abuse, and abandonment by providing homes, healing, and hope for Alabama's vulnerable children and families. And whereas the city of Mobile proudly acknowledges April 11th through 17th as Embrace Alabama Kids Week, and encourages all citizens of Mobile to help embrace and nurture vulnerable children, youth, and at-risk families. Now, therefore, I, William S. Stimson, the 108th Mayor of the City of Mobile, do hereby recognize the week of April 11th through 17th, 2021 as Embrace Alabama Kids Week. A comment I would make regarding this is that Embrace Alabama Kids is the parent organization of the United Methodist Children's Home. For decades and decades, the United Methodist Children's Home has done a magnificent job helping children in need. It is currently undergoing a new name change. It's called Babies First. Part of their outreach in the city of Mobile is that currently we have 10 mothers and 11 babies living in, a local home in Mobile. As part of the things that the city can do to help them, our Parks and Rec Department is going to be joining the Alabama Contemporary Arts Center to paint a mural, do an art walk to bring focus to the courageous work that they do. So we're mighty grateful for all they do, and I encourage all Mobileans to support this very worthy cause. So thank you very much. And Mr. President, those are all of my remarks.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. President.
Mr. Vice President.
Hey, good morning, Mr. Mayor.
Good morning.
There's some great news about hiring someone like Ms. Casey Calloway to take on this great task of being the chief liaison within this new division that you're creating. My question is really two questions. One is, when does she actually start? And my second question is that pretty much every counselor had issues with or have issues with litter in their district. What is your vision of what Ms. Calloway would do with the litter and as far as taking control of it?
So let me first answer the question. Her first day of work will be April 12th. She works out her separation with baykeepers. When it regards litter, we all know that Casey has a very, very wide group of supporters and friends, but she also has relationships into every single nonprofit and NGO that exists in the city of Mobile. Our hope is that she will be able to take a plan that's already been devised and being formulated, let's say, by Director DeLapp. She will take that plan and start the implementation of it and use her resources and her knowledge to help make sure that we clean up the city of Mobile. So that's very high on the top of her list.
Okay. And she also, between, District 3, myself, and District 4, Councilman Williams will always get questions about Dog River and Mobile, Bay, and she will be able to really address all of those questions from here on, correct? Dealing with the waterways.
Well, I mean, she's going to be putting a new hat on, representing the city of Mobile, but she doesn't leave behind the vast knowledge that she's gained on things that need to be done, to clean up our waterways. And so what we'll do is we'll formulate this, the direction and the strategies that the city of Mobile will adopt, and she'll be very instrumental in implementing those.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
Yep.
Mr. President,
Ms. Gregory?
yeah, I have a resolution.
Yes, ma'am.
And we have 3 members of a community group who are here this morning. You can see them on your screen. They are the Overlook Heights Mobile Community Improvement Group. And I have a resolution for them. And then I will ask L'Oreal Kelly, who is here as well, to introduce everybody who was with her today and talk a little bit about the group and why they have formed. But the resolution is, whereas Overlook Heights Mobile formed in November of 2020, and it is a community improvement group that has banded together those who are interested in the safety, beautification, recreation, and maintenance of the Overlook Heights community. And whereas the group encompasses McIntyre Drive, Carriage Woods Court, Racine Avenue, Vienna Avenue, Bradmar Drive, Sawada Drive, and Mississippi Street. And whereas Overlook Heights Mobile has received representation and support from the City Council and the City of Mobile, created pages on Facebook and Next Door Neighbor, and distributed flyers with contact information, enabling the community to join and have access to the group. And whereas projects in motion include speed bump and signage installation, refurbishing 2 Overlook Heights signs, negotiating a group discount for multiple neighbors to have tree work done, creation of lawn signs with group information displayed. And whereas members of Overlook Heights Mobile assure that they are looking out for each other and will continue to make strides in improving and maintaining their neighborhood. So now therefore I, Gina Gregory, council member, District 7, along with the members of the Mobile City Council, do hereby express our appreciation to the Overlook Heights Mobile Community Improvement Group, and we urge all of our citizens to participate, or at least those in the neighborhood, to participate in the upcoming cleanup effort that will be held this coming Saturday. So L'Oreal Kelly is here, and L'Oreal is the president of the group, And L'Oreal, if you will introduce the other members who are here with you today.
This is Brenda Gay and
Brenda.
Ken Luker.
And I'm sorry, one more time.
Ken Luker.
Did everybody get that? I think we had a little issue with audio. L'Oreal.
Ken Luker.
Okay. Okay, great. Thank you for coming down this morning. The reason I asked you all to come down and to speak, you know, we all have community action groups in our neighborhoods and homeowners associations, and they have come and gone over the years. Sometimes they're very active, and then sometimes members leave, residents move, and so the groups don't always sustain themselves. And so I just wanted to bring you all in because you are my community action group or community group in the district. And I wanted to just ask you, L'Oreal and Brenda and Ken, any of you all, to just tell us why you think it's important for neighbors to form these kinds of groups. In a time when everybody is very busy, we have tight schedules, a lot of things are going on. Why is it so important, do you think, to form these groups and then to keep everybody together?
Well, I think one of the most important issues is that, you know, neighbors need to know each other. It's for safety. You know, we have a large elderly population in our community. They know that there's somebody that they can count on if they need help with something. You know, for safety purposes, you recognize your neighbor, you can see who's going in and out of your neighborhood. You know, we formed after our opposition to the nearby planned unit development, and the reality of what we can do together has encouraged people to work toward what some may think are minor issues, you know, litter in the streets, things like that. You know, the speed bumps that this neighborhood has fought for so many years. Working together, we are accomplishing that.
Yeah. Well, I really thank you all for everything you've done, because you've already taken steps to refurbish your neighborhood signs, and you've got a cleanup coming this weekend. So I think it's just important that we all recognize our community action groups and our homeowners associations and help them to remain sustainable, because like I said, we all have very busy schedules and it's very difficult sometimes to keep people interested. And I know you all formed because there was an issue, and that happens a lot of times. So just thank you for doing that. And I just wanted to use this as an incentive for other neighborhoods to think about forming their own groups. And we will certainly put them in touch with you all and others to talk about why it's important and how successful you have been. So thank you for coming down.
And thank you for your support, Gina. And we would be happy to pass along any helpful information we can if you come across others that want to do similar.
All right, thank you.
Mr. President?
So,
Mr. Richardson.
Yes, I too have a resolution that I wish to read.
Yes, sir.
Oh, thank you very much. This resolution is on behalf of Marion Steinfeld, who will be leaving us, I believe, Friday. This is her last week with the council. And so this resolution is going to be on behalf of all council members. And it reads thusly: whereas the Mobile City Council recognizes Ms. Marion Steinfeld for the time she has served as the communications coordinator for the Mobile City Council, and whereas she is married to the Honorable Michael Wyndham, Circuit Court Judge, and mother to Patrick and Margaret. And whereas Ms. Steinfeld earned her Bachelor's of Arts with an emphasis in political science from Huntington College, and whereas Marion professional experience includes working on several state, Supreme Court, and presidential campaigns, teaching at the University of Alabama Honors College as an adjunct professor and serving as Director of Public Relations for the Southern Poverty Law Center. And whereas she was appointed on March 15, 2016, and is the first person to hold this position for the council. And whereas Ms. Steinfeld managed every project efficiently and with her trademark and positive attitude. Her dedication was vital to the success of the 7 council members. Now, therefore, we, the Mobile City Council, recognize April 6, 2021 as Marion Steinfeld's Day all over the city of Mobile, and we urge our citizens to join in with us in extending appreciation to Marion Steinfeld for the vital services she performed and wishes her success in her future journey. Done at the City of Mobile on this day, the 6th day of April, 2021, on behalf of all council members. Hey, Marion.
Thank y'all so much.
Is that Marion on with us?
Mr. President, I get a chance.
Yes, Mr. Williams.
I did hear Marion's voice back there, and I am certainly going to miss that voice. But mostly, I want everyone to know that if you don't believe in mind readers, we have one in our midst. Marion could pick up on the subtleties of comments that you would make during the week and sum all them up with excellent flair and such professionalism. Amazing trailblazer. We are going to miss you. And I could not, in my limited vocabulary, say enough for what you've done for me and for the council. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Mr. President.
Mr. Vice President.
Yeah, I'd like to veto what Councilman Williams has said about Marion, trailblazer, all the above. But most important thing that I like about Marion, that not only that she was a hard worker, but she was a humble individual. You know, as in Forrest, and she just, you know, take different things and you know, even though it could hurt her, but you know, she kept on striving and kept her head up and kept on moving. And her shoes would be hard to fill, but I would like to tell Marion, thank you so much for everything, not only what you had done for this council, but what also what you had done for District 3. Thank you.
If I could comment.
Ms. Rich.
Thank you very much. Marion, it's been a pleasure to work with you. Your professionalism is exceptional. And John said it right. You had such a talent for picking up on how to articulate where the council as a group and as individuals were moving along. And I thank you so much. I wish you all the very best. And yes, you have left a big void, and I'm looking forward to working with our new press relations individual director. And again, wishing you and your family all the very best, and I'll miss you very, very much. And I'm sure you might not be missing me when I'm calling you at the last minute for support. But thank you so much.
Yeah, Mr. President.
Ms. Gregory.
Oh, and thank you, Mr. President. I just want to add my thanks to Marion as well. Marion, having to work with 7 of us like you did really does take somebody very special to be able to pull everybody together and to work both individually and as a group with us. And I just really appreciate all that you've managed to do. One thing that has always struck me about you is your writing, how clear and concise everything you write is. I can send you something and say, would you please edit this, make this better? And it is always just perfect, So I'm really thrilled for your opportunities. I hate to see you go, but it has been a wonderful opportunity for us to have you with us. And you truly are a trailblazer. And we will miss you. We will miss your phone calls, your smiles, your encouragement, and most of all, your caring for us, because you really did care for all of us here at the city and on the city council, and always wanted the best for us. So thank you, Marion, for all you did for us. And hopefully we will be seeing you sometime in the future. And we just wish you well.
President,
Ms. Richardson.
I would like to join in with colleagues in saying that Marion Steinfeld is smart, she's wise, she's articulate, she's a true professional. She has profession and perception. Her writing style is awesome. And whereas she is leaving the city of Mobile, I want you all to know she will remain a friend of Fred Richardson, although she's leaving the city of Mobile. And I'm instructing the city clerk to add this resolution to our minutes. And I think you all already have a copy. I want it in the record.
Mr. President,
Mr. Davis.
I'd like to also thank Marion for her service to the City Council. Serving 7 individuals, distinct individuals, is not always easy. And Marion was able to sail through those waters very, very effectively and successfully. And I'd like to again thank her for her service to all of us, particularly to myself, and wish her every success and happiness in the future. Thank you.
And I join my colleagues in wishing Marion a very prosperous and positive future. She has really impacted this council, made our communicating the message to our constituency so much better. And I keep hearing the word professionalism. And as I hear that, that's what I connect to, because she was always the consummate professional, even under fire and in some instances under attack. She held her head high and continued to serve this council and serve this community. And we are forever grateful.
Mr. President?
Yes, ma'am.
I would like to join the council in thanking Marion for all of her service and with the council and also with the city clerk's office. She will truly be missed. She has become a part of our city clerk and city council family, and we appreciate the service that she has rendered.
Hey y'all, thank you so much for your kind words. It's spring break, so I'm joined here as I watch the meeting, and I appreciate everything you have said, the opportunity to work with you all, and I appreciate the opportunity to serve the citizens of Mobile. And I also appreciate y'all letting me share this day with Margaret, who turns 3 today. So thank you for everything. And I'm sure we will. I'll be seeing y'all soon.
Happy birthday, Margaret. Yay.
Happy birthday. May all your wishes come true.
All right.
There's my man. There's my man. Patrick.
Patrick. Hey, Patrick.
Somehow I guess Mike is back there too. There he is. Thanks, Mike.
Oh, yeah. Yay. Outstanding.
Madam Clerk.
Adoption of the agenda.
Mr. President,
Yes, Mr. Days.
I move the adoption of the agenda and that all items listed as essential COVID-19 items be declared as such.
Second.
Been properly moved in second in a discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Our president had texted me. He said he's having some connection issues, so I'm gonna take over the meeting till you get back. Madam Clerk.
Appeals, we have requests for waive of noise ordinance on June the 5th, April 25th, and April 11th, all in Langen Park.
So moved.
Second.
Been properly moved in second in the discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes.
Presentation of petitions and other communications to the council. Angela Shavers Robinson.
Ms. Robinson, if you can just give us your name and your address, and then you can go ahead and start.
Angela Shavers Robinson. I reside at 1602 Navco Road, Mobile, Alabama, 36605. I addressed the city council back in August about a ditch issue that the public came out and dug in front of my home. They have yet to repair that ditch. And with all the rain and the weather that we've had here, water stands in that ditch every bit of 2 weeks before it evaporates into the ground. It's holding trash. It's an eyesore. And now that the water has receded, the pipe is showing a crack in it. When can this issue be addressed? Because this is the access into my yard. And going over this pipe now, it has a crack in it. It won't be long before it caves in. I shouldn't have to come to city council meeting to address this problem. And it's been 8 months ago. This ditch been done longer than 9 months ago, almost a whole year. This is unacceptable. This is very unacceptable. And I'd like to know, when can it be repaired? It was a mistake when they dug it because they came to the wrong address. Let's correct your wrong. That's all I'm asking. I shouldn't have to come back to this again. It's not going to be long before that pipe caves in. Then I'm gonna, my luck, drive into the yard, it caves in, I've got car issues. You made a bad situation even worse. Whether you drive by and take pictures yesterday, it was dry. If you drove by last week, it's full of water. It takes weeks for this water to evaporate. It's a ditch. No matter when you pass by there, it's still the same ditch that's in front of my house.
Yes, Ms. Robinson, and the council do remember you coming down several months ago addressing this issue and everything. And if Mr. Williams don't have any comments, behind the situation, we do have Mr. Amberger, which is the administration is responsible for this particular deal. If Mr. Williams don't have anything to say, we want to ask Mr. Amberger if he can just come on and address this situation. We talked about this in pre-conference this morning, and I think Mr. Amberger has some type of solution, that answer to give you and everything.
Thank you.
Mr. Amberger?
I'm sorry, Councilman Small, I had to step away for a second. Were you looking for me? Had a question for me?
Yes, we have Mrs. Angela Shavers Robinson addressing the ditch that's in front of her house, which we know that Ms. Robinson did come down several months ago addressing the same issue, and she had wanted to just know some answer as far as in when the project is going to be taken care of.
Yes, sir. And Ms. Robinson, let me get this.
Yes.
Ms. Robinson, what I'd like to suggest, I'd like to suggest that you and I meet on site with our public works guys and see what we can do to rectify the issue, at least in the short term and maybe possibly in the long term. we have an idea of what we can do short term to try to improve the situation, get it back basically like it was. Long term, there may be some other capital effort that needs to be done that we want to discuss with your council member and try to find a way forward. But I think what would best move the effort along would be if we could just meet you on site, myself, and I can do it at your convenience, and really kind of go from there.
The ditch will be there. It's been there. So at your convenience, whenever you can come out,
Okay.
because this is too long. It's not going to get any better until you fix it.
Well,
because it wasn't broke from the beginning. The city made the mistake. Wrong address.
This is out of order.
Unfortunately, I think there was a miscalculation or misunderstanding. When the 311 call came in, I think the crews went out and thought that it was the ditch in front of your property, which is in fact silted in to some degree, but it was in fact the call was about the side ditch. So it's a mistake. We're gonna rectify it, and I'd like to try to find out and meet you on site. And I can do so today, later this afternoon if you're available late this afternoon.
What time?
Does 4 o'clock work for you?
4 o'clock will be fine.
Great. Well, we'll see you out there on site at 4 o'clock this afternoon.
Thank you. I look forward to seeing you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you too.
Thank you, Mr. Hamburger. Thank you, Ms. Robinson.
Thank you.
Madam Clerk.
Okay. Now we have Reggie Hill.
Mr. Hill, if you can give us your name and your address, please.
Unmute.
You're on mute, Mr. Hill.
Everything has been said. Okay, we're back in there now. Okay, thank you, Madam City Clerk, Mr. Vice President, members of the council, to Mayor Stimson, citizens and stakeholders of Mobile, Reggie Hill, 1007th Street. Good morning, everybody. Much like my pastor, who went against all missionary Baptist customs this morning and was brief with the invocation, I will do the same with my remarks. But before I begin, Mr. Vice President, I want to join you and our mayor in congratulating Ms. Casey Calloway on her new position. I've had the privilege of serving with her for about 5 years now with the Young Advisory Council Mobile Baykeeper. She's a wealth of knowledge and a very skillful person. I know it's going to be a great addition to the administration. As well, I want to join with the council congratulating Ms. Marion Steinfields on her future endeavors. I've enjoyed the conversations that we've had and all the work that she's done on behalf of our city, so I wish her well in her endeavors. I rise today to address 08237 and 01248. Regarding 08237, is Director DeLapp on the meeting today?
Just go ahead with your comment, Mr. Hill, and we ask the administration to respond.
Okay, well, as you should be aware, in 2020, I requested an inventory list regarding the equipment, vehicles, and other amenities within the Public Works Department. As we see similar items like this coming up annually, each week really, regarding the equipment purchases. And a few months ago, and I know he's apparently not on the Zoom meeting anymore, the council president, my council member, assured that he was going to reach out to the administration to obtain that list. And I have not heard anything back from our president or the administration at all. So I'm just wanting to follow up on how soon we can have the inventory list, because once again, we just keep seeing these items that are coming onto the agenda, and yet we have no idea of the inventory that we already have. So in response to what our vice president requested, I'll move on and hopefully somebody can answer those. And then with 01248, I wanted to know who with the administration can explain this agenda item. If we recall, there was a survey and analysis that was put in place maybe a couple of years ago, in which there was a lot of miscommunication, a lot of misunderstandings, and I don't ever remember even the council receiving the analysis from that previous survey. So I just want to kind of see what this project entails. As well, there has been a park lighting issue with certain areas not being able to access the lights after hours when either park administrators have left or there's just no one there in general. So I want to see if that is a part of this project, this agenda item, and I would welcome any response from either the council or administration, please.
What was the resolution number, Mr. Hill?
The first was
No, the second.
08.
Second.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, the second one, that's 01248.
Okay. Are you finished, Mr. Hill?
Unless there are some remarks, I would like to respond with my time, would depend on what time is remaining.
Okay. Yeah. And I know that Mr. Hill had asked, was Mr. DeLapp on the line? If anyone is Mr. DeLapp available, or anyone from the administration available to answer Mr. Hill's question about the vehicles?
No.
Okay, Mr. Hill, not speaking for Mr. Manzi at all, not saying that Mr. Manzi did or he did not ask for the request information, but that's information that has to come from the administration as far as in the amount, of vehicle that's currently being used, because some of it could have been went out of service and everything. And the second question Mr. Hill had to do with resolution 01-248 about the parks. Do we have anyone from the Parks Department able to answer the question that Mr. Hill had asked, or from the administration?
Answer is no.
Mr. Hill, we don't have anyone from the parks, so not administration can answer your question. I advise you, if possible, to go ahead and email your question and to the administration, the mayor and the chief of staff, and also just copy your councilman and look for an answer in that direction.
Mr. Vice President, if I may, if that's not something that can be responded to, would you suggest something else that I could do? Because I mean, I've been sending this information for quite some time.
Yeah, not to just go back and forth with you, Mr. Hill. And again, these are answers that have to come from the administration. And pretty much that's what we lean and depend on, is the administration to give us the answers on the portion that you let the citizens impose.
Okay, well, thank you so much for yielding the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Hill. Madam Clerk.
Essential COVID items held over. 60-161, establish the compensation of adjunct and acting municipal court judges. Are there any objections to any of these? I can take them all. Okay. 08234, approve purchase order to the Carrier Corporation for chillers for the County Hudson Senior Center. 08235, approve purchase order to Sunbelt Fire. 08236, approve purchase order to Image Trend Inc. 08237, approve purchase order to Stevens Ford Lincoln Inc. 21238, authorized contract with Iker Construction Corporation for Michael Figures Park improvements. 25239, grant easement to Alabama Power Company for underground utility installation on vacant lot located at 1814 Kibbe Street. 60243, approve settlement agreement and release of claims. 46245, rename Earl Street as Dr. Michael E. Jackson Boulevard. 21246, authorized project development agreement with Mobile County and SALP for road infrastructure costs for development of an industrial park near I-10 and Theodore Dawes Road. 60247, approve settlement agreement and release of claims.
So moved.
Second.
We've been properly moved in second. Any discussion? I would like to discuss briefly about 46-245, rename Earl Street as Dr. Michael E. Jackson Boulevard. This resolution is being sponsored by all, well, it's supposed to be all council members, but Councilman Manzi had brought this to the council and everything, and we would like to say congratulations to Dr. Jackson on pastoring the Ain't Well Baptist Church for over 40 some odd years. I believe it was 45 plus. But again, congratulating him on a well-deserved retirement. He had worked very hard, not only just in the bottom community, but all across Mobile. And again, congratulations to Pastor Jackson, especially on his retirement. Do we have any other discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Richards, you had something?
I can either comment on 238 now, or I can wait during discussion period.
Now.
Just go ahead now.
Okay. This 21238. We started this project in 2019, and it's coming to fruition today in the form of a contract. I am thrilled over this, and I know the Florida Fortune family and the citizens of the Tobinville area, especially those who frequent the Figures Park, are thrilled to see this contract come to fruition. But I just would like to, I want them to know what we're voting on in the contract. That will be 2 new pavilions. And I have insisted or requested that water, electricity, and charcoal grill be a part of these 2 pavilions. That would be improvements to the restroom, concessions buildings near the athletic field, including equipment, door security, hardware, painting, and lighting. There will be a monument in honor of Miss Farida Fortune at the entrance to the walking trail. This going to serve as the official entry to the park, but it leads it leads to the walking trail, and we're going to have a monument for Miss Fortune over there. The entryway is going to be an archway, and it's going to say Farida Fortune Walking Trail across the archway, but over to the left is going to be a monument to her. And we all been waiting on this. There will be lighting upgrades to the community center interior, including the gymnasium. Including the gymnasium, there will be picnic tables added to the picnic area. ADA accessibility to the community center, front and rear building, and it's going to connect to the walking trail. So that's in essence what we're spending almost $800,000 for. And it's when this is done, when you ride down the street, Allison Street, and you get to this entryway to the park, it's going to be transformative because they're planting trees, they're going to have benches, pavilions. It's going to be awesome. We can't wait. We are proud of this moment. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Richardson. Again, is there any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, all opposed? Resolution passes. Madam Clerk.
Essential COVID items being introduced for the first time, 34022 through 03264.
Mr. Vice President,
Stay.
I move for immediate consideration of items 34022, 31, 259, 37, 260, 58, 261, 60, 263, and 03, 264. The remainder delay over 1 week pursuant to council rules.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Been properly moved and second. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Madam Clerk.
34022, ordinance to levy taxes on all real and personal property within the corporate limits for 2021. 31259, authorized grant application to Bloomberg Associates for the Bloomberg Asphalt Art Initiative. 37260, recommend approval to the ABC Board for issuance of a retail beer table wine license for Happy Sushi on Airport Boulevard. 58261, declare weeds noxious, group 1613. 6263, accept donation of face shields from Alabama Secretary of State's office for use during the upcoming municipal election. 03264, appoint Patrick Mitchell to the Police Citizens Community Relations Advisory Council.
So moved.
Second.
This resolution have been properly moved and second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And opposed? Passes.
Announcements.
Let's start with District 1, Councilman Fred Richardson.
Yes, sir, Mr. President. I just want briefly thank the mayor for honoring my request that they order additional body cams for all persons, all sworn officers, especially if they're going to be wearing a gun and they are involved in a crime-related matter, that they ought to all have a gun because they may have to shoot and they need to be accountable. It took a while, but I appreciate the mayor for agreeing. And from what I heard today, we may be the first city to do that. This is not a small matter. This is big for our city and for our citizens, for our police officers. It denotes accountability, that we are not running from accountability, that we stand for accountability. And when citizens, and they often do, when citizens come and lodge a complaint, I had one week before last, where the citizen called me and she lodged a serious complaint, and she named a whole bunch of things that the officer did. The police chief pulled the body cam. He called me and said, it's none of that true. Said, in fact, this officer assisted the citizen. That none of that is true. And it just shows you that these cameras will hold everybody accountable. And I appreciate, I appreciate the mayor for ordering these body cams. That's my comment.
Thank you, Mr. Richardson. We're going to go to District 4, Councilman Williams.
Thank you very much. I will echo the comments of Mr. Richardson. This is great news. I think a majority on the council have been asking for this for a while. We're just in that position now. We're very fortunate that the financial position of the city, for maybe the first time in its history, allows us to do these things. And there's a reason why other cities haven't done this. It's very, very, very costly. And I think we can all take a little bit of credit for this day and for this positive movement with regard to body cams. I look forward to hearing the comments by the administration next week to kind of outline the policy as they think it may pan out, and also exactly what is in this contract with regard to tasers and the body cam and its storage. Thank you very much. Have a great day. We all have there's a press conference here in a little while. Got some good news in the city and county, and I look forward to being there. Thank you all.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Williams. District 5, Councilman Davis.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. I'd like to join my colleagues in commending the administration and taking this step forward with respect to body cams. I think it's very, very important that we have accountability, both citizen accountability and police accountability. And these body cams will go a long way. I'm particularly proud that the city of Mobile is in the vanguard of cities nationwide in equipping every sworn officer with a body cam, every sworn officer. It's a great step forward. The other thing, Mr. Vice President, is that the City Council Finance Committee meeting, which had originally been scheduled for today at 1 o'clock, has been laid over until April 27th at 1 o'clock. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Days. Councilwoman Bess Rich, District 6.
Thank you very much. I hope that everyone had a wonderful Easter and that we are now well into spring and enjoying our time here in the city of Mobile. I also will echo the sentiments of my colleagues about the body cams and do look forward to that protocol that will be established by the department, and that the citizens will either be pointed to the website that actually they can read it at their disposal, or however it's gotten out. The transparency of its use is so important, and for people to understand when it can be used, when it isn't used, and that all of this has logic behind the reason of it in policing, and we should respect it. The other thing is that I don't know if all the council is aware, but the Planning Commission moved forward on the UDC codes. It is actually version 5. And it will be moving up to council, and I look forward to the council's dialogue and message as is actually in our camp, and we are the ones responsible for any zoning code changes or procedures that will be implemented. The committee will be meeting shortly in order to, with that ad hoc committee first, which all council members will be. I don't have a date for that, but we'll check with the members, which is Councilman Small and Councilwoman Gregory is a member of that committee, but all council members will be present. And our attorney, Wanda Cochran, who knows municipal law, knows about planning law, will be guiding us and not telling us what to do, but pointing out legal aspects of the code, which as they interface into the use of the new code system, which our city definitely needs to upgrade. So I look forward to that, and just wanted to give you a heads up, and you'll hear about the committee in the very near future. Thanks.
Thank you, Ms. Councilwoman Rich. Councilwoman Gina Gregory, District 7.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. Following up on Bess's comments about the UDC, Lisa, when will we expect to see the UDC hit the council floor?
They haven't sent it to us yet.
Yeah, they haven't sent it to us. About how long does it take before it comes to the council? Is it 4 weeks, something like 2 weeks?
No, I mean, it's on them when they send it up. I'm not sure how soon they'll send it up.
Right. And it's not as though it's an application for rezoning that has certain calendar benchmarks. This is brand new, and it will be up to the council on how we document the information, how we maybe implement some difference from what is sent to us, because they're a recommending body. I don't know. It's going to be up to this council. There is no timeline, but we don't want this to be forgotten about, because it's been an effort that goes back 4 or 5 years now.
Right. I was just wondering if there was any kind of a timeline, and we'll have to discuss, I'm guessing among ourselves, how we handle it, whether it hits our agenda and then we lay it over for a certain time, or if we want to just take it directly to committee and work on it that way before we actually put it on our agenda. I'm not sure how that will go, but anyway, thanks, Bess, for all you do for keeping us informed about the Planning Commission.
Gina, I just want to clarify, we wouldn't want to advertise it if we make any changes to it, because what's advertised is what the council then would have public hearings on. And I can't guess whether that will be the case. It's coming up. It went through 5 versions some of them through public hearings and people putting comments in line, and the administration and our planners trying to document those questions and comments. And the council might want to take the time to look at some of that as well, so they understand how it arrived where it did. But it's not the same template as a rezoning, which has certain guidance and timelines. I just know it's a serious thing and we want to deal with it.
Well, right. Thank you. Okay. Just a few things. Pavilion Work is underway at Langham Park right now. They are renovating one half of the picnic pavilions, those that are closest to Ziegler. And when they finish those, then we will take on the other half. We didn't want to close down all of the picnic pavilions at one time because we know that people still want to come out and picnic and enjoy time with their families. So the first half has gotten started. Those are the ones that are closest to Ziegler. And then speaking of Ziegler, the road is closed again, the portion that runs alongside the park. However, the new closure will allow people to get into the park if you come in from the west side. So if you were coming from downtown, if you were heading west, you'll need to go around the park, Museum Drive or some other way, and then come into the park from the west side, and you can get into the park. I want to, as my colleagues have done, echo our thanks to the administration for following through on being able to find the funds to purchase the extra body cams. I think it is very important that all sworn officers wear these body cameras. We've talked about this for a long time. And I think it's great that both Chief of Staff Jimmy Barber and our new Public Safety Director Lawrence Batiste will also be wearing these body cameras. So all sworn officers will be wearing them. Like you've heard, it does certainly provide for more accountability, and I think it benefits everyone in the community. And I too look forward to the presentation on exactly what it is part of this resolution, and getting the documents or whatever we will get as far as the policy that will be used for the body cameras and how they will all work. So at any rate, I think that is it from District 7. Thank you very much, Mr. Vice President.
Thank you, Ms. Gregory. And I'd like to join in with my colleagues and also thank the mayor and his administration for looking out for the funds for the additional body cameras. During our pre-conference, I had asked Chief of Staff Barber, are we the first city in Mobile to pretty much, have every sworn officer with a body camera? And his response was, pretty much yes. And also our mayor came on our 10:30 meeting and pretty much had summed it up, also saying that we are pretty much the first city in Alabama to have all our sworn officers with body cameras. I do have a request to Chief Barber is to find out what city that's closest to us have all sworn officers to have body cameras, and what percentage of cities in America have all their sworn officers to have body cameras. Now I'm pretty sure that's probably pretty small. We have something to be very great and proud of here in Mobile, Alabama, throughout the pandemic and different situations that happened through this country within the past year. Mobile, we are still striving to the top and to be, a trailblazer, for other cities. And even though we are smaller, we are a trailblazer, as far as in, finance, as far as in, being, the first ones to have all sworn officers to have body cameras. We have a lot to be proud of. And especially with our CIP program, as far as we hearing between pavilions at parks, ditches, streets, we just have a lot to be proud of. And going back to the body cameras, I really do believe that the body cameras is really it would be a tool for more transparent between the citizens and the police officers. As Councilman Richardson stated earlier, that one particular citizen had declared that the officer had did this and that and that and this, but went back and looked at the cameras, the truth actually came out that the citizens is the one who actually just draw out the truth and draw out somewhere far left, than versus staying on the narrow course, which is the truth, and pretty much the camera is the one that really has solved it. We have many people that have cell phones this day and time, and people go out and record what they want to record and cut out what they want to cut out. And one issue that we do have is that we could have a citizen to go out there and film a situation, but we don't know what happened beforehand. And with the officer having the body cameras on them, they're able to go ahead and pretty much tell the whole story, the pre-story, the action story, and then towards the end of the story and everything. So I'm grateful for to look forward to passing this on next week, because again, this would be a great deal for our city, that every sworn officer do have a body camera. And again, we'll be the trailblazer, the leader, saying Mobile, Alabama is the first, to do this. And I'm very proud to be a Mobilean. Also, in District 3, we do have some cleanups that's coming up. I will be announcing that on next week. I am thrilled to know that Casey Calloway will be starting with the city on April the 12th. And I will be, reaching out to her with assistance for cleanups throughout the district and everything. Now, again, I do thank the mayor for hiring her on, because again, litter is a big problem in our city. Just as well, we fighting crime, and adding body cameras. We also fighting litters and, and putting people in a certain position to help to fight litter within our city. So again, we do have a great things to be happy about here in Mobile, Alabama. As Councilman Williams always say, another great day in Mobile, Alabama. Do we have any more announcements from the council or the mayor or the administration?
Move to adjourn.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Been properly moved and second that we adjourn. In a discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
I guess. All opposed?